Thank you once again for coming out. We're just going to go get right into the next film, which is The Wonderland Express. This was shot in Cincinnati in the Dayton area. This is actually the film's Ohio premiere. And right now, I'd just like to introduce the director, writer-director, Greg Nichols.
Hello, everyone. You know, I think there's been a vicious rumor about this film. I think everybody thinks that Gallagher will come out first and smash some watermelons or something like that. Because everybody's sitting in the back. Nothing happens. You don't get covered with watermelons or fruit or anything like that. So you also, please do so. Anyway, I'm Greg Nichols. I'm the writer and director of Science Film Wonderland Express. I'm here, and also Rachel Wilson, who's the producer, who's also an audience. We'll be taking questions, I guess, at the end, and I'm trying to stretch us a little bit so we can get a few more people in there, outside there. So, yeah, this is Ohio premiere. This was filmed in Dayton, Ohio, and Cincinnati, and shot with all Ohio actors and crew. One of them is located to LA, but he comes back quite often. So, I guess anything else I need to know? I think we're good. All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started. So thanks, everybody. We'll talk after the film. Thanks, everybody, for watching that. Come in, I think we got something we're appropriate to be a big spend of some time. Yeah, any questions or any comments that you have? Anybody?
I just thought it was great.
Oh, thank you. That's a good one. That's right off the bat. That's great.
Where did you get the idea? It's so wonderful.
Well, thanks. Well, actually, one of the things that when I was writing the script, the first script, I had this idea about science, and especially about some of the ideas like the physics, especially some of the kind of weakness, theoretical stuff. How we really don't have in our normal everyday lives, we don't have that kind of like gravity, like when you throw something and it falls, or when you drop something, and sort of like quantum mechanics and some of this uncertainty and things like that. You really, there's nothing in your life that really, that you can see. You just kind of, people have done the math and done these really wild experiments and things like that. And that's one of the things with this device, they use it. There is some science going on behind it, but it's given, the conditions and even the way that people perceive it, even each person perceives it a different way. When the brother thinks he goes into his own mind, the Sandy's going off into some alternate reality that their own desires. And of course, the doctor and Ralph have some very different experiences, but especially Ralph's kind of dark. So that was one of the ideas when I was writing this out and developing it. That's the core. That's really the core. So, anything else? Yeah.
The two people that played the brothers, did they know each other for a while? Because I thought they had a really good connection there.
Yeah. Yes, actually, the three of us used to be in an improv group in Dayton, Ohio for about 5-6 years. And what happened, actually, the brother, Charlie, who's Ryan Singer, wasn't supposed to be in the movie at all. That character was supposed to be in there. And we had a script, I wrote it, and we had to read through with everyone else in the cast. And I didn't like it, I threw it out. And I thought, and this was last year, 2011, I thought, I need to have a movie done by the end of the year. I want to have something done, that's my goal. And so in March, Ryan, who actually lives in LA now, he came back in, he's a traveling comedian, currently opening for Mark Maron. And he came in and I said, hey, let's just sit down, let's do some improv. And I really have trouble with the script, I really don't know where it's going. I got some ideas, you're going to be the brother, you're going to film this, and whatever. And so we did. And we did these improv scenes. And actually, the first scene on the couch where Duncan and Charlie are fighting with he's trying to get him to use the device. That was one of those improv scenes. We just grabbed that and threw it back in the movie because I really liked it. And that was the core. And then he became the brother. And so I said, well, because the first script had this more kind of cold thing where Duncan's character, But no, it was all said and done. And where I'm at right now, going with the film, we just had our first festival was in February at Starlight down in Florida, and we had 2 more festivals right after this coming up the next month. I'm hoping we can put 2 more. With all those costs, I'm looking around 10 grand, I think. I think production costs were probably 1,500 to 2,000, so which is what it looks like, you know. So, but I wish I had that 1.5 million. It'd be an all-action film. Trust me, explosions every 3 seconds, and none of the science garbage. So, but anything else? Anybody? Right there.
What did you shoot it on?
Yeah, I shot it on the Panasonic GH1. It's one of those DSLR deals. And I actually, the lens, I used most of the time, used a 50 millimeter Canon lens. And it was a lens that I had when I was growing up on my old Canon camera. And I was looking for some prime lenses. I like shooting prime lenses because they have that nice depth of field and all that. And I just went home one day and found out a lens that I used when I was 12, 13, playing around with this SLR camera. And we found it out before Amazon, and we shot some film with that. Shot that with that lens and a 20 millimeter pancake lens. It was a pretty new lens and 85 millimeter, or sorry, 135. They got 135 on some scenes. So, but yeah, I used the DSLR and used the onboard sound and also recorded with the Zoom, one of those little Zoom recorders. Ran a mic with that. And was anything else we used on that? I think it was mainly, yeah, that was the camera of choice, was that one. So, it's a nice little camera, and it's a nice little sensor, and I think it did pretty well. So, anything else? Anybody?
What's your background in terms of your imagination?
Yeah, my background.
Yeah, like what have you read, or like it's just a really kind of an original piece.
Oh, that's, yeah, my background actually, I was actually filmmaker back in the 89, 90 at Wright State University down in Dayton, and I went about halfway through there and got to the point where it was time to make a 16 millimeter film, which was going to cost me $7,000, which is a couple minutes, and I'm poor, and so I couldn't finish that, so I changed my major to one of my friends I was working with at the time, was engineering business, and he said, well, you're good at math and science, go into this, make money, and make a decent amount of money, but I've always been around long, with short films, short films that have been, this is my first feature-length film that I've sold on my own, and so I didn't get it, there's a science background there, and I like this idea, so I said, the next thing we're actually working on some an animated series that's going to have a whole foundation of some philosophy and all this. It's comedy. It's not real deep. But, and then actually working with Ryan Singer, who played Charlie, the crazy brother. He's going to be back in Cincinnati in a couple weeks recording one of his concert albums. So he's getting ready to release a new CD and follow that up with a concert, like a Blu-ray DVD with some stuff in it. So we're hoping to get that out to comedy festivals late 2013 maybe or so. So anything else? Anybody? Oh, right there. Yeah.
You have a pretty eclectic soundtrack. Explain, I guess, where'd you get some of the music and the musicians you worked with?
Sure. The group that's credited as Me on the Moon, and they're a group from they were from Cincinnati, now